is the main one that is usually practiced. That is being used by many of the financial institutions. Number one is a character. We talked about a character and we say this is very key. Ability to pay. Means, we also looked at the means. Are you using an asset or even a liability? What is the purpose? Are you borrowing that loan to pay school fees or to construct? And how much are you looking for? And then the repayment. Are you going to afford that repayment amount, whether it's monthly, quarterly, or in bullet? Bullet is where you pay one-off. That repayment has to be considered. Then insurance, we said insurance is not, in addition to the normal insurance that we know, it is what we call a backup plan. That is what we are talking about, the insurance here. So those are the main things that we talked about. Now, last week, we also mentioned and we talked about the dangers of a loan top-up. And we were able to give an example of if you borrow 1.5 for 6 years and you want to top up. We said, and after doing the workings, said that you, at the end of it all, a top up which has which is for a 1.5 million loan payable in 3 years, then yeah, payable in 6 years, then after 3 years you go for a top up, you may end up losing over 200,000 just because of that top up. So those are the main things that we discovered and we talked about. Now, today, I want us to talk about briefly on a buy off or take over. And you remember even the other session, there was a question from one of the ladies and was asking, there's this bank that has come to our institution, they're telling us to buy, they will buy us off our loans and all that. So I decided also to have an example on a loan buy off, and this is what we are going to cover briefly. And then after that, we are going to have a testimony from some of our some of those who have participated in the NISAWA program. But before then, I want to you go to go to our chat. Let's go to our chat. Gift of airtime free of charge. You remember there was homework. There was that case I forwarded to you. Yeah, are you able to explain? Are you able to give me the response? I had asked, the question was that you have a loan, and that loan is 1.5 million. You have paid for 3 years, and then after those 3 years, there is this institution that comes to you. We are reducing the rate. It is 15%. So would you go for that loan? Somebody there called Joseph, you're saying no, we should not buy off loan, but you haven't explained why. Yeah. Another one. Yeah. So continue, please. So the buy off is expensive, 13.5%, but for shorter time. Yeah, someone else. Yeah, so here we are talking about buy off, and the other terms are the same. And I realized some of us are teachers, and we usually encourage our students to read the question properly so that they don't fail. I realized some people are not reading the question properly. What is changing when you're buying off is just the interest. the tenor will remain the same, as in if you borrowed for 6 years and you have to repay, you have already paid for 3 years, the other bank that is buying off is only giving you the other remaining 3 years. So you are not extending, it is still within. Yeah, buy off are repos that destabilize one's ability to invest and save. Uh, uh, buy off will lead to another processing fee. Yeah. Okay. I wouldn't buy off because it will be double. All the costs that come with buy off are very expensive. Rule Yetere, please. You have been able to give justice to that question. Yeah, so you earn yourself a free airtime. Yeah, don't worry of the amount, but the airtime will come to you. But I would also wish to get your contact so that I may be able to send that airtime. So thank you very much for that. For you who is just condemning a buy off, it is not like not like the one we talked about, Topper. So please don't think I am condemning everything from the bank. Furthermore, I worked there for so many years. I would not wish to condemn everything, because not everything is bad, but it's always good to consider some of the facts. So buy off, I may not condemn it fully as such. What I intend you to do is to consider some of those things that I'm going to mention right now. As I go back now to the presentation. Yeah, so you should not just buy. What I want us to cover, if you can see, a buy-off or a loan, which is a salary check-off loan of 1.5 million of 6 years at a reducing balance of 15% per annum. So at the end of it all, the total interest that you're supposed to have 6 is 783,161. Then 17. We use an amortization calculator, which gives us all these details. Then the processing fee is at 3%. I've not factored in the insurance and the rest, but those ones are also there. Then after 3 years, someone now comes and tells you, you have paid the principal of 585 and the interest of 556, and the total amount that you have paid is 1.1 million. 1.14. I go further. You may be thinking of paying 1A is around 300,000 for you to be able to clear off the loan, but there's still a lot. If you look at what I've captured there as outstanding loan, it is still a lot, over 900,000 that you still require to clear even after paying for 3 years. The reason is, I told you, on reducing balance basis, the first few years you pay more interest than the principal. Then the next last years of the loan, you pay now more principal than the interest. That's how these loans work. So when now you have all those terms, and then the bank is coming to you and telling you, please, we want to give you a loan at 13.5%. This is what happens. they will buy off the outstanding amount. Remember, we say the outstanding amount is 14,000. So that is what they are going to buy off. Then they put now the new interest rate at 13.5%. If you look at what you are supposed to pay the remaining 3 years, imagine it's 202,000 the remaining 3 years. Whereas if you are to continue with that existing loan, you pay 226,000. So you see you are saving over 24,000. Yeah. So you may get enticed by that, and especially when you have bigger loans and such. But it is also good to consider, like what Ruth has mentioned, the other charges, the other fees. If you look at the installment amount, it is going to reduce a bit by around 600 shillings per month. The reduction is not so high. This is because the years, the tenor remaining is not changing. So when you look at the processing fee, you're going to be charged the processing fee again at 3%. So that 3% will be for the loan that has been bought off. So even the 20,000 or 20-something thousand that you are to pay, if you are if you are to continue with that loan, you see now it is now consumed by the processing fee. For me, as I take you through this is what I want you to consider.
Charles, unmute yourself. Unmuted everyone. Charles, please unmute yourself.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have done that. Yeah. So those who are, this is what this is what happens, and this is what now I've told you, that it is always good to consider those other charges. But as you consider all this, there may.
Please unmute yourself. I've now disabled everyone. No one will be able to unmute themselves except you because of noise.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Yeah. Yes. So this is what the reason why I'm taking you through all this is because I want you to consider this aspect. Majority of the times when you're given now such kind of offers, we rarely know what else we are supposed to consider, and banks will rarely give you this. So it is always good to take bank or that officer from that bank to that kind of workings. Let them be so practical until they tell you this is how much you're saving. So before you allow any of those banks give you that loan, please be as practical as you can. And this is how you do it. You tell them, I want to calculate the total cost of funding. I look at the old loan, I've already paid an interest of 556,000. I've already paid a processing fee of 45,000. The new loan that you're going to give me, I'm going to pay another additional, or I'm going to pay the remaining interest of 202,000, but you're also going to charge me a processing fee of 3%. So the total cost I'll have paid when I take over that loan, or when you take over that loan, you as a financial institution, is 832,000. Tell the bank to calculate for you that. Then you'll also look at, if you are to continue with the current loan up to the end, how much would you have paid? Everything. And when you look at it, you pay an interest of 783,000 plus a processing fee of 45,000. So the only amount, or you even be required when you take over, you may end up now paying more by around 3,402 shillings. That is as per my workings, without considering the insurance and the rest. So for me, what I would wish is let this one be as practical as buy all very good. In some cases, the other scenarios that we have buy-offs. Number one is we have already talked about a buy-off where it is only the interest which is changing. All the other terms are the same. But if you consider these other scenarios, you may find saving a lot in some of the cases, but not all. Like you may have a buy-off which has low rate, and then once you get the additional amount and the tenor, you realize that this other additional amount, even if you are now to fix it or you are now to use that amount, you still be required to pay almost the same kind of interest like the old loan, and you already have now an additional amount that you can use for other purposes, or maybe for business. We said most of these loans or loans should be it and not a liability. So buy is a low rate and extension of a tenor. You may also have such a thing. They reduce the rate, like this one of 13.5, but they also tell you you are going to extend you the tenor. Instead of the remaining 3 years, we are going to give you another 2 years, another extra 2 years to go to 5 years. This one happens in cases where, imagine you have lost a job, or maybe you have you have a salary cut, or something has come, you are forced to get another emergency somewhere, and your disposable income is too low. So you need to restructure, you need to buy off to have that loan bought off or taken over. So you may consider now such a buy off where there is a low rate and extension of a tenor. Then buy off same rate but additional amount and tenor. So if you have a buy off where there is a same rate, an additional amount, and a tenor, it is always good to be very careful, because that additional amount is taking you back to what we said, the top up. And we saw the challenges that you have when you have top ups. So all these scenarios, when you're having a buy-off or a takeover, please let these banks explain to you. The reason why I am going to share this on the screen, I don't know whether it is visible, because some numbers are very tiny or small. Learning to make huge profits, whereas ourselves, the borrower, who has given all these banks this business, we are going down further and further. If you look at the statistics here, the first bank in profitability is Equity. They made last year 46 billion shillings profit after tax. And they disbursed loans to you and the many others over 700 billion shillings. KCB is the one which disbursed or gave the highest loan, 863 billion. And they made a profit of 40 billion.
Please,
if you look at that,
we can't see your slide you are talking about.
You can't be able to see, and now?
Yes, now we can.
Yeah, so what, now you can be able to see?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm talking about now, if you look at now these banks, look at the billions they are making. They are making all these billions, and their growth rate every year, even during the time of COVID, they have been making having growth rate. Like here they have grown by 40%, by 30%, by 20%, others 5%, like that. You see, when you're borrowing, you as a borrower, in most of the cases, you are supposed to grow almost at the same level or even slightly lower, or there should be a small margin of error between maybe 10% or more than 10% of the bank is having, because they have financed you to grow, not to put you into a deeper mess. But how comes our businesses are borrowing from all these banks? Banks are the ones who are reaping huge profits, whereas us, we are not. There must be an issue with us as the borrowers. And that is why we are having this session. And nobody in the industry is going to tell you or even give you the secret, because they want you to continue borrowing loan. You clear this, you borrow again like that, so that you are always their customer. That is the main essence. So when you're having top-ups, when you're having buy-offs, when you're having every time you are clearing a loan, there's another one and another one and another one like that, or you're in multiple loans, that is usually a catch. But when you subject these officers into a test and you tell them it is okay, me, I'm already enlightened. You don't have to tell them who taught you. You just show them you are already enlightened. Tell them, no, I want you to calculate everything until I get satisfied. They are not going to put you in a mess. Is it clear? Are we together there?
Yes.
Yes.
They can only chat.
Yes, you can only chat. Yes, it is true. You can only chat. Yeah, so what now I want you to do is, for these few minutes, I want also to encourage, before I continue now with the other session, I'd want to encourage someone who has been working with us at Denisawa, and thank you for the feedback that it is all about borrowing wisely. That is what I have learned so far. And not just borrowing wisely, but also with information, and make sure that you get information both beforehand. By the time you're signing that offer, in fact, subjected to an expert's opinion. Yeah, is it giving you the right information? Yeah. So I would want, before I continue, to invite a lady here who has gone through the Nisawa program. And the reason why we are talking about this, as Dr. Catherine alluded and said, that we are here to help one another. Some of these challenges, we find ourselves in it. We borrowed without a lot of wisdom, but we found ourselves into challenges. Then when you're already in that challenge, the biggest question we should ask ourselves is, how do we get out of this challenge? And the way you get out of the challenge, the way you resolve this challenge, is what matters a lot. And I would want to start with Beatrice Mwangi. Daktari, maybe you can give access to Beatrice Mwangi. Beatrice Mwangi is a nurse, and she joined, or she participated in the Nisawa program, and she will share with us what she went through before and how she was able to resolve the challenges she had and the emotional challenges that she had during that time of deaths. So I want to welcome Beatrice so that she can share with us. Then after that, I will tell you what next. Beatrice, you can hear us?
You can unmute yourself, Beatrice.
Beatrice?
Yes, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay, I'm a nurse by profession, and I'm here for my testimony.
Maybe
Since
Mr.
I've
Gishu,
been
you can mute. Yeah, Beatrice, continue.
Okay, I've been a victim of bad debts, and Dennis Howard helped me get out of the situation. Okay, it all started back in 2020 when we had the COVID crisis. So there was, okay, I work with the county government. There were some delays in salary repayment. So I started some side hustles rearing chicken, which didn't go so well. And from my county, there is no way I could access loans from the bank. So the only option was taking the mobile loans. So from 2020, I really suffered because the mobile loans, their repayment period is very short. So you find yourself getting loans to pay these other, and it was so stressing. It reached a point I couldn't sleep. I was ever angry at my child, and I almost ended up into depression. So the way I came to know Dennis Howard, I was searching through Facebook. Actually, I thought it was an app offering loans. So I tried contacting, and Mr. Charles reached me, talked to me. I was so down, I had given up, and he advised me financially. And from since then, I've tried settling most of those debts, although I've not yet cleared all. But I can say it's a very positive experience. And right now, I'm not depressed, and I'm not taking debts just anyhow. Yeah, that is my experience.
Yeah, thank you, Beatrice. Yeah, and
Okay.
what I know is Beatrice was in the verge of giving up, and this the Nisawa program helped her a lot. And we are very grateful that you are able to practice what we are able to teach you. And mainly it is not, and I thank God for the way you have said you are still not yet out fully, because we don't give loans. What we do is we advise, we offer advisory services. So thank you so much, Beatrice. We have someone else called Justa. Yeah, now Beatrice, you can mute. We have Justa. If Justa, you can hear me, want to give you this chance to just share briefly.
The spelling.
Okay, I hope it is the right one, Justa, if I'm not wrong.
There's no one in with that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think maybe she has not yet joined. If she has, maybe I would request her to.
Okay. Let me unmute everyone. Then she can unmute. Justa, you can unmute yourself.
She has just written to me that she got some challenge in joining.
Oh.
Yeah. So I think it is okay.
Okay.
We will have her maybe next time. Yeah. So for me,
Those sending their contacts, please send your contact to my phone number. Send your contact to me through WhatsApp. It's easier that way. I may not be able to pick all the numbers from the chat. Send your contact to me directly.
Could you allow, please, question time, please? Question session.
Yes, we are going to allow question session. So just allow me to conclude. Within few minutes, I'll be done. Then we ask questions. Is it okay, sir?
I've muted them. Just continue.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so for me, what we covered and we said, I hope you can be able to see my screen. Tari?
Yes, we can see.
Yeah, so what we said is that when you're looking at the insurance, please, it is a fallback. And this fallback is because majority of us find ourselves, because of this loan, we get ourselves into court cases, blacklisting, marriage issues, and we say that on things to do with mental health is also good to be specific. We don't just talk about mental health, whereas it is just an issue to do with money. So let us learn all these cues so that we protect ourselves for the sake of you and your family. So always protect yourself, because at the retirement age, imagine you're having all these loans, what you're supposed to pay, and you don't have income. You end up now making your children take over the loan to be able to clear. It is a big challenge. Now, when we talked about investing right, and we are talking about it here, we said that if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And this is what we talked about, that with God, you'll be able to have all these challenges, you're able to overcome. I thank God even for Beatrice. Beatrice did not mention that during that session, she had now to build her relationship with God, because she realized, as much as, yes, there is this advice that is given by Denisawa, there is also that relationship with God. And this relationship with God, it goes a notch higher. Like for me, when I'm advising my team or the people who require our services, we always talk about tithing. Yeah, not tithing to Denisawa, no, to your local church where you go to, because that one is also building your relationship with God. So if you're not tithing, if you're not giving back to the community, if we are not really also always go to build your relationship with God, so that you are able also to have your finances and your decisions concerning finances build under the biblical principles of managing money and debt. Then I also talked about accountability partner. See, the reason why we have Denisawa is because some of these things you may not be able to know on your own. But when you have an expert, and that expert is able to help you, be able to guide you, this is what you're supposed to do. And I can tell you, for me, the many people I've interacted with, I don't offer loans. I don't give them loans. But that consolation and that advice and that working together has helped so many people. I wish we had even that lady Justa talking to you. She lost her job and she was struggling a lot. And when she saw our advert on Facebook, she was able to contact us and we were able to assist her. And she came back to having hope, even after losing a lot of money, even the money that she got after losing the employment. She also lost some money. And that hope in itself is what we are giving. And also not just hope, but we also guide someone so that in the near future you may not get into challenges. Then also looking at ways of raising more money so that you get out of all those debts. So we need to have an accountability partner. Then we also need to have systems. And these ones stick to the systems set about by TSC, systems set by your employer where you work, system that are set by banks. Always ensure that you follow those systems because they are there for a purpose. If a bank is telling you these are the things that you need to do so that you qualify for the loan, don't go behind and try to circumvent that so that you get now more, you qualify. No, try to go through the systems so that you don't put yourself into more challenges. So this is what now we do. And at the NISAWA, we have advisory programs. So if you visit our website, you'll be able to see a package, a starter package, a standard package, and solid package, all these for people. And mainly if you are getting into also business and you are putting or you're trying to put up, you're trying to borrow so that you can invest and either in an active or passive business, we put you in a package that we work with you for 3 months, 6 months, or even in some businesses, there are some businesses that you tell us, I want us to work together. You'll be sitting in our board. We make decisions through a guided approach for about 1 year. Yeah, and we'll be meeting maybe once or twice a month and such for such a package. So we have such kind of program. But now what we are saying is, when you visit our website, going to get more information. But what we are saying is, because of Dr. Tina, Dr. Catherine, we know, or Dr. Tina, we know that we may not be able to fix majority of us into this package. So what do? We offer these trainings that we are offering on Sunday evening, but because we want to help people, there are many people. In fact, for me, I have been forced now to put even my WhatsApp in a way that people will know that this time and this time I'm not available, because I'm usually overwhelmed by all those many messages and requests. But the challenge is, majority of these people require assistance, and not just assistance of 1 day. They require us to help them and help guide them so that they are able to overcome. So if you have a challenge and you don't have money, but you have someone else who may not be having a similar challenge, but they can be able to spare some few hundreds or some few shillings to be able to support. What we are now doing with Daktari is to ensure that you participate in this Sunday program, but at a small fee, so that you help someone who is interested with our package and they are not able to get out of there. And there are many. If I tell you the number of suicide cases I've been able to sort out, there are many, there are several. Yeah. Why? Because somebody was able to get into the package, but now those who don't have, and maybe they're out there, they're struggling, they're wondering how to get out. If you get involved, you'll be assisting someone. So that is why we are talking about let us join at a small fee so that we are able to help each other and support one another. We talked about this is education for sustainable development. How can we sustain ourselves? How can we help those who are in challenges? We need to make sure that we are working with them and you make an impact. You have been told about, I like Daktari's session on that egg, that when you break an egg from inside, you are creating life. And this is what we are doing. We are creating and sustaining life when you support one another what you're doing is you're making our country better. And we are not having now some of these institutions, financial institutions, some of them making or taking advantage of our people. And when they affect our people, we are also affected, because some of these people are our relatives, our friends, and we need to work with them. The best you can give, even for that person who is telling you, a relative, this is what I'm going through, I've been in debt, I've been in all these challenges, the best you can give is not to give them fish, as Dr. usually says, is you give them that rod so that they can be able to know how to fish. So if you put them now into a program and you tell them, I would rather even sponsor you in this program, then you are helping them. You're not giving them the fish, you are giving them the fishing rod so that they can be able to know how to fish on their own. So this is what we do at the NISAWA, and we will continue having various detailed sessions. Like now, what we shall be doing is we shall have, even in the near future, we shall have tailor-made sessions where we can be able to invite or to get your suggestions for those who are going to sign up. Once we get your suggestions, we are able also to tailor make our training to suit your specific needs, but not necessarily being specific here, because we are so many. It is going to be general, like the way I've given you an example. But when you want personalized services, you join now those programs that I've already displayed earlier. So thank you very much. We appreciate. Dr. Over to you so that we invite questions.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think we can proceed with questions. And maybe I can just review my introduction because it wasn't recorded, for the sake of those who will be listening to the recording after that. Any questions? There are questions on the chat? Thank you so much. Oh, good. Thank you very much. Yeah, we are being discouraged to go use shortcuts. Thank you. Now, let me just review what I had presented earlier for the sake of those who missed. What I was saying, what I just said, I'm not going to repeat everything. What I just said is that education for sustainable development is about everything that matters in our lives. So what we are doing is actually, we are talking about matter sustainability. How can we sustain ourselves? How can we sustain our lives? I don't know if my screen is being shared. Gichuhi?
Yeah, yes, we can see it. We can see it. You can go ahead.
Okay, fine. So this is what I said, that okay, let me just do this. I said that in education for sustainable development, everything matters, including what we are discussing is all about sustainability. This, Gishui has already talked about it. Going forward, we will be sharing a link that you can subscribe to join a meeting with a small fee, so that we can help the needy people who need services beyond the Zoom meetings, for you to be able to make a difference in somebody's life. And then I said that our work is to simply to facilitate the learning, lead, provoke, stimulate, inspire, challenge us, and support us. It is about us who are in the room and not somebody else. So this is the reflection message of our meeting today, that if an egg is broken by an outside force, life ends. If broken by an inside force, life begins. So in essence, great things always begin from the inside. So don't wait to be broken from outside. Try to get knowledge as much as you can to be able to help yourself to overcome the challenges that we are having in life. So we don't want to leave anyone behind, and it is time for us to scratch the itch. If you are itching and you don't scratch, you will continue being uncomfortable. Let us not assume that things will just be okay. That is why we are having these trainings every Sunday, to be able to make a difference in our lives. Scratch that itch. If you need further help, go to Dennis Hour, and Charles and team will be able to help you because they are there in Kenya. The greatest threat in our planet is the belief that someone else will save it. Don't wait for somebody else to make the difference that you need in your life. Can you do it now? Because sustainable development is about meeting our needs in the present without compromising the ability of the future to meet their own needs. So what we are doing right now is not just for us. It's because if we remain in debt, we will eventually affect our children and our grandchildren and so on and so forth. Because if we are affected, they will be affected. So we need to take care of that. And sustainability has to bring in the balance of the environment, the social, and the economic aspect. And right now, we are focusing so much on being financially responsible. If you connect finance and the environment and the social responsibility, then we can talk about we are becoming sustainable. Education for sustainable development, those who don't know, is education that aims to empower and equip the current and the future generations to meet their needs using a balanced and integrated approach, the economic, the social, and the environment. That is why we are saying, let us support one another, yeah? Because there are people who really need this help and they are not able to. Instead of just having the Zoom meetings free of charge, just subscribe with a fee of 200 shillings, something like that, so that this can go to support someone who really need help. You've listened to Charles. He says that some people even get to the point of wanting to commit suicide. Why can't you be the one to save that life? When the why is clear, the how is easy. Always ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I attending this meeting? Why am I taking this loan? And our aim is not just to talk about reality. We want to go beyond reality, go beyond equality, go beyond equity, and get to justice, where we remove the veil for everybody to know the truth about matters finances, matters loans, bank loans, and so on and so forth. Because we want everybody to going forward to make informed decisions about loans. So it is time for us to start making mad conversations. We must start to have conversations on how we do things individually and collectively in order to improve the quality of life now without damaging the future. Let us talk about these things. Don't shy away from involving your staff to talk about matters finances. If there is one member of staff who is struggling, now you know that there is help. Please reach out and they will be supported. And in everything that we are learning in this program, I will always encourage you to involve your head, your heart, and your hands. Get the knowledge, appreciate it, enjoy the learning process, and go down and implement the things that we are doing. Our joy will be when you get the right results at the end, when you have implemented what we are just telling you. For us to be able to do this, we must involve all these three things. Take nothing but memories, leave nothing but footprints. If you have to leave footprints, then the people coming after you will be able to say, I'm not suffering because my father or my mother or my grandfather or my grandmother was able to take care of their debts early enough and not really getting down to us. So you have been given power. It is upon you now to decide whether you will put it on or you switch it off. Gishui has done a good job today, and I believe by the example that we were given and the illustrations from the various banks, we now know that we are like the catch, yeah? In the previous meetings, Gishui talked about banks, bank workers have got targets. So they will continue using that sweet language to tell you how good it is to take a top up, or, they can do anything to ensure that you qualify because they have a target to achieve. So we become prey without really knowing. We want to thank God because of this opportunity to meet experts who are free to tell us what we need to know about bank loans, what we need to know about X. Yeah, if you are struggling, for instance, people with high blood pressure, most of the pressures that we have is because of the loans that we have. It's because of the debts that we have. Let us try to offload ourselves, be able to get the right skills on how to overcome these things for us to live sustainably. So somebody was talking about, there's a question, what's your advice on taking a loan and putting it in a fixed deposit for saving? Is it advisable because the loan will finally be your money? Maybe that one, Mr. Gishui will handle it. That is why he's in the room. Otherwise, I really want to say thank you for being there. Make use of this opportunity. You never know. Maybe I'll become very busy and will not be able to get the opportunity of continuing to do this with us. So anytime you have time, every Sunday at 6, let's meet. Gishui and myself have decided that we want to make a difference in our country. So just come for these meetings. They will help you and you'll be able to help other people. Mr. Gishui, there are questions for you before we pray.
Yes, I saw the questions, and the questions are related to what we'll be covering in future. Like a good example, there is cryptocurrencies and forex trading. Yeah, that one will be a session, a specific session. So be on the lookout and be ready to join once that session comes on board. We'll be covering more about it. Because the question is asking, are we regulated? Are they genuine? Yeah, that will be a full topic, which I may not be able to answer right now, but it will be there in the near future. Then there is the different ways to invest. Someone has asked which are the different ways to invest. I mentioned briefly about passive and active investment. This one also, because I'm fully in the investment banking right now, investing. And this one is related even to the question, or the one that Dr. has mentioned, that are you able to take a loan, or is it advisable to take a loan and then you invest that money in a fixed deposit? Once I share with you the various options of investments and even the returns, because it is not just taking a loan and putting it in a fixed deposit or the other investment arms. The main thing is the net benefit of this, and some of the other things that we consider even inflation and such. So we shall be able to take you through the various investment avenues. So be on the lookout so that you're not left out. There is also a question on when is a deadline for registration. We will require people to register early enough. So in the course of the week, we will send in the details, but we have also been told, please make sure that you send your number to Daktari so that we are able to have you register, and we only be asking for a small fee of 200 shillings. Remember this 200, a bigger portion of it those who are challenges, and their portion is to help us. For this Zoom, we are already paying for it, isn't it, Dr.? Dr. is paying for it, and we need now to start meeting some of these expenses so that we are able to sustain this training. Because if we just continue like that, we may end up squeezing our pockets so much until we are not able to give what we are supposed to offer. So we will give you the details in the course of the week. Make sure you are registered, you are able to register as early as possible in between the week, so that by the end, see, when you register the last minute, maybe you are registering 5 minutes to 6, it becomes so hard to coordinate all that, because we need to give you access. And giving you access, we need to ensure that we have cited the registration fee. So all that arrangement needs to be done early enough. Then there are many who have thanked us for the information. We appreciate so much what Dr. said, and I would wish to echo that. Let us learn, but also practice and go and implement, and as well as help someone else. How do you help someone else? You may not be able to tell them so much about what I've told you, but you can also tell them to join or invite them to join this meeting so that they get help. So as you do this, you're also helping others. So we appreciate so much. I also take this opportunity to appreciate to appreciate Daktari on what on this coming up with this forum, because it is helping many people. As from the feedback I can be able to see, it's very informative and helpful, and we appreciate so much Daktari for that. There's someone who has requested that I share the details, the ones that I had shared. We will share in the group. That one, there is no problem. We shall be able to share that. Yeah, so God bless you so much. I think that is what I have. And may we continue to be together, even in the other sessions. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, now we have a group where we are sharing opportunities. The people who sent me their numbers and they are not in the group, I will add you to that group to make it for coordination. So I'll be sharing the YouTube links there. I hope that is okay with everyone. Now we've come to the end. Sorry for taking some extra minutes. We didn't want to do that, but it was necessary for us to do that. Let me request Eric. Eric, please unmute yourself.
Thank you, Daktari.
Yeah, please pray for us.
Right. Good evening, everyone. This is Eric, and let us pray. Holy Father in heaven, we thank you, dear Redeemer, for being with us throughout the session. I want to thank you, Lord, for making an occasion that we may boost our ability to maneuver our financial environment. I want to thank you so much for our facilitators, Dr. Christine and Mr. Gishuki, even for the sacrifice that they have done to actually come and meet us and educate us on matters finances. As we now depart, I pray, Lord, that you may go with each and every one of us. May you take care of us throughout the week. Bring us again next Sunday, same time, the same place. May your name be glorified in everything we are going to do. For this is my prayer in Jesus' holy name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, and have a good night.
Good night. Bye.
Good night. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.